Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is August the 20th, 2018. Strong hand, long-term thinking, offended by selling. This game is not rigged, unconfiscatable. Okay, check out the links below. Everything I talk about in this video is linked to below. Think about the year 2020, people. The halving is coming up. Be patient, have long-term thinking. Follow me on Twitter at TechBalt, TechBalt. Get awesome shirts like this and Trezors down below in the link section. All sorts of affiliate links down there. Okay, I'm going to start off with this awesome tweet from Pierre Rochard. Psychologically, prepare yourself for a long Bitcoin bear market into 2020. Be pleasantly surprised if it's any shorter. I think that's a good approach. Again, if you're a long-term thinker, you don't even care about until after 2020 anyway. So, after the 2020 halving, which I mentioned above, you got to know what the 2020 halving is, people, or you're not really in this game. This is where the big boys play. If you don't know what the 2020 halving is, you're going to get crushed. And you won't have a strong hand. Hold on. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with saying, yeah, we're going to be in a bear fiat market until 2020. What's wrong with that? You weren't going to sell it anyway. You'll get to buy more. That means, before 2020, before the 2020 halving. You value your wealth in Bitcoin. I value my wealth in Bitcoin. I'm just trying to get more Bitcoin. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin for us. But for the people worried about bear markets, yeah, prepare for it to last until 2020. If it doesn't, you're going to be happy, I guess. All right, it's a good mindset to take. All right, now let's talk about Steemit real quick. I am Bitcoin Meister over there, and D Live is blowing up. I'm Bitcoin Meister there too. I'm posting stuff over there all the time. Before here sometimes. Yesterday's video was posted there before here. Remember, check out disruptmeister.com for all my archives, all my old videos. And yeah, keep on checking out D Live, as you never know when you get something there first. This video is being done live. I couldn't do a few of them recently live because, or at least one of them recently live, because I've been traveling. But now I'm in Spokane until the 6th. And we're going to talk about Spokane at the end of the show. So the reason I'm bringing up Steemit, Andy Hoffman has a good post over on Steemit. He always has good posts. And it's about the people saying crypto is going to zero. How that FUD is ridiculous, but it never seems to die. Bitcoin is going to zero. So he's got some thoughts about that FUD line. And that's old school FUD. I'm going to talk about some future FUD that'll be happening in a few days. Pound that freaking like button in a second. Now, speaking of Steemit, it's time to follow UK BTC Master Brian. I linked to his Steemit below. Please check him out. Please watch his videos. He's really trying to be in motion. He posts good videos. If you know newbies, his videos are especially good for them, but they're good for everyone. Upvote him at Steemit, UK Bitcoin Master. He is a great guy in the UK. For all you people who think crypto is going to take over the world very soon, that Bitcoin, everyone's going to be using Bitcoin in 4 years. Here is an article. It's actually from 2017, but it's just talking about a statistic that is very important to consider when you're thinking about this. UN, majority of the world's population lacks internet access. And again, there's about 7 billion people in the world. Some people say some people say 4 billion people have it. Okay. In at least 3 billion people don't have internet access. And the internet has been hardcore since about 1998 or so. What DSL has been available in houses in North America, since 2000 or I don't know, 2000, I don't know. But it's been 20 years since the dot-com bubble started. And still most of the world, or a huge chunk of the world, doesn't have the internet. So it's going to take a while for Bitcoin, for everyone to be using Bitcoin. All these third world countries, everyone, be patient. Trust me, if like 10% of the world is using Bitcoin, into Bitcoin, it is going to be tremendous, because right now it's less than 1%. It really is. All sorts of numbers have come up. Hardly anyone controls their private key. I mean, that's really having Bitcoin there. Okay. That's really having cryptocurrency. Long-term thinking, people, be patient. Don't be impulsive. If in 2019, half the world isn't using Bitcoin, because they won't be, because half the world hardly uses the internet, has internet access right now. So the internet has changed the whole freaking world in such an incredibly amazing fashion, like no other thing has ever changed this world, yet still a huge chunk of the world does not have regular access to it. So consider that. Here is a Twitter thread about Bakkt, that new financial instrument that might, that Caitlin Long wrote about, that might create some paper Bitcoin, fake Bitcoin. They still haven't given, they have a new post out there. Caitlin has a long thread about it, which I will summarize in a second. There's no word about what they're going to do with forks yet. If Bitcoin forks, when they're holding all this Bitcoin for all these institutions. So here's her comment. One, interesting response from Bakkt today. For Bitcoin, this is good news and bad news. It seems like her posts are always like this, good news and bad news, which is good, I guess. First, the good. Bakkt disclosed it's not using margin or leverage explicitly. That's positive. But then the bad, it was silent about hidden leverage, which is subtle. And then she goes on. I linked to it below. I linked to the actual post by Bakkt. And then Matt Odell sums it up differently, though. CEO of Bakkt says exactly what we want to hear. A critical element to price discovery is physical delivery. Specifically, with our solutions, the buying and selling of Bitcoin is fully collateralized or pre-funded. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Down in Venezuela, they've devalued the Bolivar by 95% again. I mean, this is not a shock at all. And they're saying it's going to be pegged to the Petro. They're playing all these games with the Petro. It seems to just be marketing. Matt Odell has a tweet about this, and he brings up a good point. If Maduro were serious about oil-backed currency, he would just switch to Bitcoin, or at least provide provable Bitcoin reserves by signing with the government's private keys. Bitcoin is backed by energy while minimizing trust. His government already has major mining operations. I have a better summary. If you are in Venezuela, just get Bitcoin. Don't play around with the Petro. Don't play around with the Bolivar. Just get Bitcoin. A lot of the guys down there have. Get in touch with Gabriel and Maximo. And check out the July 4th show in my archives where we only talked about Venezuela. We'll continue to monitor the situation. I don't usually look in the chat during the show, but something just caught my eyes. The great Shane Ulrich is in there. What's up, brother? There's a guy I really know for real life. Shane, I wish you a happy birthday a few weeks ago. Did you get that? I didn't hear from you, man. Also, Shane, we met each other many years ago. Yesterday on the 19th was our when we met back in that those awesome days, those days of valuing our wealth and all sorts of wild stuff. All right, so let's go back to the show here. But it's always good to see friends and Shane, I'm in Spokane, and the smoke is insane here. You should come out here, visit, or something like that, man. Anyway, but yeah, I'll talk to you soon. So here is a very interesting post here, and I don't agree with all these numbers, but it's an interesting article, and it's very bullish. 99 million people in Western economies alone are estimated to be seeking exposure to cryptocurrencies. If these consumers were to put 100 pounds, pound that like button. This is obviously a British man, pounds into Bitcoin, at the current prices, that equates to a demand for 1.9 million Bitcoins, more than 10% of minted supply. These demand numbers indicate that almost half of the remaining non-minted Bitcoin supply is spoken for. So he's saying there's about 4 million Bitcoin left to be mined, less than that. And so many people want it that half of it's already claimed. That's an interesting way of looking at things. I don't know. I think maybe some of his numbers could be a little bit more conservative, I would say. He might be blowing some things out of proportion here. But there are a lot of people who want Bitcoin now and will buy some of that future Bitcoin that has yet to be mined. So it's an interesting article. It is linked to below. It's a Medium post from CoinShares, he calls himself. All right. You know, I've been hearing the term project a lot. Adam, what do you think about this project? Some people ask me that in Philadelphia. I hear on the internet. Sometimes when people are like using the term project, it's totally a buzzword. Run away. Bitcoin is the only cryptocurrency that matters. I don't want to hear about your project. I mean, what are those? What's Dash based on? Whatever your ICO project, your masternode. That's what I want to hear about your masternode project based coin. I don't think much. What do you think about this? You support that project, Adam? No, don't use this darn buzzword with me. All right, pound that like button. So last night I got to use Lyft for the first time here in Spokane. The driver picks me up, and I wasn't really talking to him much at first. And I just said, have you been doing this for a while? He's like, well, I usually work for a bank during the day. And I had a jacket on, so I was covering my Bitcoin shirt. So I said, wait a second, you work for a bank. Have you heard about Bitcoin? He said, oh, yeah, man. And then he's like, I went down to a crypto conference in San Francisco. And I was like, oh, so you have any Bitcoin? And he starts talking to me about Ripple and Tron. And great. Ripple, and this is so funny. Right when I said Ripple and Tron, Vention MGTOW, thank you, Vention MGTOW, sent $5 in the super chat. And as a joke, he said, what do you think about XRP, Adam? What do you think about Ripple? Well, Vention, you know what I think about that centralized crypto. I don't even think it's really a cryptocurrency. All these centralized things. Tron had like an office in freaking San Francisco. I mean, how centralized can you get there? I mean, but this kid, this is a real young guy. I mean, he might have just been right out of college, but working for a bank. Maybe 22 years, 23 years old or something like that. He's telling me about Tron and how he lost money on Tron and Ripple, but he started in October. And man, I set him straight. I said, you check out these videos, this Bitcoin. And he really hadn't even heard. He said now he has some Bitcoin. He's thinking some long-term about it. But so many people are just born altcoin gamblers into this thing. They think they have to diversify for the sake of diversification. I'm meeting more and more of them every day, and all of them have been burnt. That's the funny thing, but so many of them still want to play in that field, and they need people to tell them, like, dude, Ripple and Tron do not. It's no comparison to Bitcoin. No, they can be sued. But again, people get into it just to make money. So it's funny. So in Los Angeles, I talked to a guy who worked at the TSA. Then here in Spokane, I talked to a guy who works for a bank and for Lyft. He's getting paid so well by the bank. He works for Lyft also. For all you people who think bankers get paid a lot of money. So it's all sorts of people and these are guys. I guess they're young guys. They think it's about gambling. They are impulsive on a certain level. And you just have to break it down to people. You got to have long-term thinking here. Now, even Shane Ulrich, he was betting on 6-tier altcoins too. I got to call you out a little bit there, Shane. But no, he's still got Bitcoin too. But no, he was gambling on some 6-tier altcoins. I mean, he could tell you when I saw Shane in person, he showed me the 6-tier altcoins that he had been buying. I mean, I almost almost had a seizure right there. I mean, he could tell you right now in the chat. He's in the chat right now. Oh God. So, but okay, going back to Lyft. Lyft had a hard time with my credit cards at first, and one of my credit cards had a hard time with Lyft because I had bought a train ticket in Philadelphia, a subway or whatever, their big commuter train in Philadelphia. And I had bought in LAX. I had to pay for my luggage. And I agree. So I bought all these little things in different cities very close together in short time periods. So one of my credit cards shut down. They just said, we don't think it's you, so we're shutting your credit card down. And my point in bringing this up is that with crypto, this doesn't happen with Bitcoin. If I at this point in my life, if I sold my Bitcoin, which I am offended by selling, I do not use it for anything. But let's say Lyft accepted Bitcoin, they wouldn't have to worry about this kind of thing at all. They wouldn't have to worry about taking credit cards closing, credit cards not allowed, temporary closing, all this madness that can happen. There are no charges can't be reversed with Bitcoin. There are no chargebacks. No chargebacks help all of us. They help all of us. Shane said Adam had high blood pressure for 5 minutes after he saw my portfolio. So much for intermittent fast. That's a funny joke because I just finished a 5-day fast a few hours ago. And my blood pressure is quite low when I go to the doctor and everything like that. But maybe for those few seconds, and my pulse is really low because I'm a runner, and I've not run in the hazardous air quality of Spokane, and it just got a little better. We're going to talk about that in a second. Okay, you wanted to hear about the future FUD. The future FUD that's going to happen on Thursday that's going to confuse a certain ETF with the whatever it's called, the ETF that we're supposed to care about. That it's going to get approved anyway one day. But here we go. And the price will drop. Bitcoin price will probably drop on this news, this FUD when it comes up. ProShares Bitcoin ETFs, they have two, have their SEC decision this Thursday. They will most likely be denied. And people are going to get them confused with the Van Eck ETF. And we've been through this before with a week ago with the Winklevoss ETF. When that was rejected, everyone panicked and the price went down. So expect that FUD in the future. It's nothing but FUD on Thursday, okay? It's not the Van Eck one. The Van Eck one, in the year 2019, maybe before that, an ETF is going to be approved. That's all you have to know. Have a strong hand. You only care about 2020 and beyond afterwards. And some of these young guys that I'm talking about, if they're 22 years old, they should, their hand should be, instead of buying freaking Ripple and Tron, their hand should be as strong until the year 2028 halving. Oh my God, they'll be in great shape if they can keep their hand strong till the 2028 halving. My Lord. But they start off wanting to know the latest trading course. The guy at the airport, whatever it's called, the TSA that has to grab you because I don't go through the naked body scanner. I make them frisk me. I make them do their darn job. And again, I talked about this on yesterday's video or Saturday's video. I don't even know. Check out the links below and pound the freaking like button. And yeah, so the 5-day fast is over. Yeah, I'm fine. Literally it just ended 3 hours ago or something like that. It's a good experience. I really don't feel that much of a difference during or after it. Maybe around the third or fourth day, I thought about it some. Actually, when I did my video, I mentioned it in my video from Philadelphia. Didn't eat my whole time in Philadelphia. Didn't have one thing to eat. It's amazing. Last time I ate was in Los Angeles until today. So no, it's good. It regenerates your immune system. Apparently, I feel fine. And some people are like, you got to ease into eating right afterwards. Nope, I just ate usually one big meal afterwards. I feel fine. So July 27th, this story is from, but it's an amazing story coming up. It's, considering 10 years ago, a story like this would be just impossible. And it just shows how things can change in 10 years and how bright the future is for Bitcoin, just how bright it is. This is a Bloomberg story. Bitcoin sparks PE fund to back wind farm, Manhattan-sized plot. Brookstone Partners is planning a 900 megawatt wind farm in southern Morocco to power a data center and Bitcoin mining operation. Unbelievable, like a wind farm to power a Bitcoin mining operation. This is how people want to get into Bitcoin so badly. They're doing wild things like this, just unimaginable things. So yeah, and check out that article. I mean, and who knows if it'll even happen, but they put the money down there. Just what is going on is amazing. So Spokane, yeah, when I landed, you could smell the smoke. There have been forest fires in California, in Washington, all over that are just pouring into this city. And they considered the hazardous air level a 300 level. I wasn't even familiar with air quality levels, but it got over 300 last night and today. And I mean, you saw people walking around with masks. Then today it was 150, and I walked outside, and there were kids playing. I put a shirt over my face. I mean, it's wacky. It is a beautiful place, Spokane, and I really hope that the air quality gets better soon, because they do freak you out about these. I mean, when you hear the air quality level is over 300 and it's at a hazardous to your health level where they recommend people don't even go outside, it's yeah, I'm a health guy, so that didn't, you think about the Pacific Northwest, you think about so many healthy, and you can tell around here it is beautiful and green, but apparently they can have bad air quality when they're forest fires. So I just wanted to mention that, but I'm here and I hope to meet up with my buddy here he's going to have a kid soon. But who knows and he's a Bitcoiner, but if there are any other Bitcoiners, I'd love to do something, but I leave here September 6th. I go back to Baltimore for the high holidays, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, which are great times with my family. So the New York Times has an article out here. I linked to it and I linked to a tweet about it. And this again is about impulsive people getting into altcoin gambling. And before, at the end of last year, Kim Hwang-jung, a 45-year-old teacher and mother of one who lives on the outskirts of Seoul, said she put about 100 million won, or $90,000, into cryptocurrencies last fall. She drew on savings, on insurance policy, and a $25,000 loan. Her investments are now down about 90%. Now, first of all, notice how they say cryptocurrency investments. They didn't say Bitcoin. This woman and a lot of people in Korea, because I was in South Korea then, and I heard about housewives who used to day trade. There's a whole gambling mentality in Korea. Let them do what they're going to do, okay? But there were women, 45-year-old housewives, who used to do the stock market, and they went all in on things like IOTA. I mean, people there were asking me about all the flavors of the month, okay? So this is personal responsibility here. I mean, I've been talking Bitcoin on this channel for a very, very long time. Other people have too. People want to hear about flashy things, flashy flavor of the months. They want to hear about projects. The IOTA what do you think about the IOTA project? Have you done research on that? Have you done a report yet on your channel? Has someone paid you to do a report on that ICO on your channel yet? Heck no. No, there are no reports on that kind of nonsense on this channel. But a lot of other places, a lot of other publications, CNBC or all these ridiculous things out there, we're pumping this stuff. And now people have lost 90% and they're not going to get it back because everything's cyclical. But these 6-tier altcoins aren't all going to pump again. Bitcoin is the rock. Bitcoin, learn about the halving, okay, people? There's So what else did I want to say about this? Yeah, one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. That people don't want to hear Bitcoin is the world reserve cryptocurrency. You want the world reserve cryptocurrency. Again, when I travel to foreign countries, in Argentina, they don't want the peso. They want the dollar. They want me to pay for a bus ride there. Oh, yeah, we'll take your $13, of course. So it's lunacy. Oh, yeah, I'll take an IOTA over a Bitcoin. That's just like saying I'll take a South African rand over a dollar. You're wacky if you'd be willing to do something like that. In Zimbabwe, they accept all sorts of currencies, including the rand. They take that dollar is king. You should think of it that way. Pretend you're in Zimbabwe and somebody offers you a rand or a dollar in payment. What are you going to take? You're going to take an IOTA or are you going to take a Bitcoin? That's the real thing here. So again, personal responsibility is the new counterculture. If you get jammed, if you get hit with a 90% loss because you were a gambler and you were into altcoin flashiness, then move on. Don't try to scapegoat. Don't try to come up with excuses. Just move on to Bitcoin. Put it in the past. The future is bright. Just move on. Take personal responsibility. It is your fault. It is your fault that you bought IOTA. All right. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. Check out the notes section below. Pound that like button. I'm going to say hi to Shane, Invention, and everybody in the chat right now. See you later.